Hello and welcome to Tea with Lily, the show that we talk about anything and everything. And today we're going to focus on AI, artificial intelligence. You know, that thing that's been bugging us. We've been thinking about it and wondering what is AI? And I have a wonderful guest here, Ash, who will talk to us about what he uses AI for, how he thinks it's important, and also give us some tips on, how this AI thing is going to better our lives and perhaps not better our lives. I don't know. It's all a one big question mark. So, in terms of Tea with Lily, it's a space for informal discussions where we chat about topical issues that we bring the great and the good. I bring in the great and the good, like Ash, to give us some tips and tricks on how to improve our lives, our professional and personal lives. So, today, Ash, we have you. He's the visual, I call him the visual designer's designer. Welcome to the Magic Sofa. How are you?
Oh wow, magic sofa sounds. I'm feeling really happy already. No, thank you very much, Lily, for inviting us. And yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I call it the magic sofa because I assume that, even though we're having an interview remotely, if you were sitting next to me, we would sit on the sofa, would chat about those topical burning issues that perhaps we will see celebrities doing. But the celebrity lives are not like our lives. We're talking about real, normal people doing extraordinary things. And that's what Tea with Lily is about. So you are sitting on our virtual magic sofa. So that's what it is.
Yeah,
And
so you're already doing AI there. You're already artificial lighting, artificial this. Women have been doing AI for years and makeup and no, sorry, I'm just
of
winding you up.
course,
Artificial
makeup. Do
makeup.
you think
So this is
makeup is an AI?
absolutely yeah, because it's not the true you, but it
Oh
enhances
my
you, makes you
God,
look a bit better. But that
better.
the
Oh God.
simplest form of what AI is, isn't it? That's a really good
Yeah,
way of
makeup.
understanding
Oh,
it.
I love it. I have to go
When
and Google this later. You gave me various ideas. So I normally come with a cup of tea, but I've been rushing around, so I need water. What are you having for tea? Because we're supposed to be having tea with Lily.
yeah, I've just rushed to get back on the live thing. I left my coffee in the kitchen. I'm a coffee drinker, a bit of a tea in the morning, and then
And
coffee a
coffee
little
at
bit later.
night? Really?
No,
You
in the
do it the other way
afternoon.
around?
Yeah, no, I gradually. I used to be a big coffee drinker, and I realised that I drink a ton, maybe five, six coffees a day. So
Okay.
I have the first two are teas, and they just ease me in the day. I don't get too stressed and too hyper. Got to do, I've got to do this, got to do that. Got to phone someone, write it down. You just like, come 10 o'clock, I'm like so stressed already. And I haven't done anything, just thinking about it.
Oh, wow. Well, we got a couple of people joining us, and we just want to know where you are in the world you're joining us from. Just put your maybe town, maybe country, even, because sometimes we get people from America, we get people from Europe, hinterland Europe, we get people from Africa as well. So the stage is very broad. And just let us know where we are, where you are, and thank you very much for joining us. And I hope my comments will show on this stream. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but it doesn't matter. You can always watch this in on replay as well if you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, and also on the YouTube channel for Lady Mensa. So, Ash, we talked about a lot of things around AI in the last month or so. We've come back and done so much. So let's have a brief intro of Ash, and let's say meet Ash, a seasoned digital designer with over 2 decades of experience in the field. Ash's journey began with crafting dynamic DJ club flyers, producing captivating music videos using Photoshop. Over the years, Ash has evolved his skill set, transitioning into the realms of web design and AR programming. And for those who don't know AR, is it augmented reality?
Yeah, well done,
Hey,
Lily. Yeah.
see, I
You
learn
know,
something every day. And so that's it's just the things that they put those cameras on your face and then you
it's
see
like
the
VR. It's VR,
Yeah,
but
VR. Yeah.
yeah.
I hate it, by the way. It makes me dizzy.
Have you
Honestly, it
tried?
makes
You
me
tried? You
dizzy.
tried VR?
It makes me dizzy. So I've done it once. I'm
Yeah.
never going to do it again. But that's if you like that. Now, Ash has a higher mission to foster and champion personal and business enterprise, and he uses his expertise in digital design to empower individuals and organizations to realize their full potential, whether through creating visually stunning websites or developing innovative augmented reality experiences. Ash is dedicated to encouraging and promoting the spirit of entrepreneurship in every endeavor. And I'll tell you, we'll share a secret. Ash, remind me to share a secret
Sounds
about.
like you're reading your own bio there. I think that's similar to what you do. I
I
think.
love entrepreneurship. I love it. It's about creating solutions for
Mm.
a need. That's what they told me it was. But I absolutely love your bio. And you can tell me the secret. We'll talk about the secret behind the bio as we develop this conversation. So, I mean, a few things to kick off the conversation. Ash, what brought you? What? How would a normal person, when I say normal, somebody who is an interested user, uses technology all the time, how how would a beginner coming to realize that they've actually used AR before?
That's you actually said AR by mistake there, but that's the problem I had
AI,
when I
AI,
was doing
artificial
AR,
intelligence.
augmented reality, artificial. Everyone gets those two confused, and I think that's part of the confusion that may appeal to your audience because they're hearing all these words AR, VR, AI, and they're putting them all in this like this tech camp. But AI, artificial intelligence, we've been using it for years in a sense. It's although it's not been artificial, but uh, taught a calculator, for example. How many
Oh,
people I was saying to you just before we started? Do you actually do long? If you're going to measure out a room for some wallpaper or carpet, I don't know anyone that's going to get a pen and paper out and calculate the meters per square inch and this and that. So we've been using spell checking. Has been around,
oh yeah.
yeah, or the auto check on your phone.
Oh, I
You
hate
know,
those.
yeah. I mean, it remembers your past language, and then it
Yes.
tries to anticipate what. So that's a
Mm-hmm.
good way of understanding what these engines do, but they do it on a mass scale, whereas they're looking at the data on your part, looking for all your past text messages. So
Yes.
when you spell the word, how do you spell? Do you say I tend to type yeah as in YEAH, yeah, like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So like the way you say it, I know you're proper English. You wouldn't do that.
Oh,
uh,
trust me, I do. Trust
oh,
me, I
do you?
do.
So you use emojis and all sorts of things all over the place. I can
Yeah.
imagine you. You really? Okay.
Oh, listen. When I'm by myself and with family and friends,
Okay.
what I tend not to do too much is to put the kiss, the X's. I don't know. It's just not me.
It's too much. No, that's too
It's just
much.
not me. But a lot of people do that. But for
Yeah.
me, it's like I only kiss the people that I'm really in love with.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah. But,
family and stuff. So.
but that's really what it does. You're remembering your data on the phone, and then
Mm,
it's just anticipating how you spell the word yeah all the time. So you don't have to keep, and that's really all Chat GPT does. All the other
mm,
models to a degree. I'm not sort of an expert on the technicalities of it, but instead of the database being your own thing, it's the world database. It's scraped all the websites.
mm.
So it's limited to that, and it anticipates the next word or the next sentence or the next thing. Yeah, if you can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, Ash, we've had in the last couple of weeks, and people are worried about AI taking away their jobs
Mm.
and stuff like that. So that's something that's on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, yeah,
And for instance, what's in the news or has been in the news lately is the likes of Body Shop and even Sony. The last 24 hours or so has come up with stuff. I can talk to the Body Shop problem a little bit. I doubt very much, and this is from somebody who it has a lot of love for the brand itself. Body Shop, I love Body Shop.
yeah,
I use the products very a lot. So when I heard that, I went, oh my god, what's going to happen? I haven't been into shop to just I mean I have friends, not have friends, but the some of the girls that work there. I've befriended because I go there and go and have a chat because I like to have a chat. And they've done my makeup for me. I went there and they did my makeover for me when I did my photo shoot last year. So I went to the young lady and said, "What's happening?" And they said to me that their shop is not closing,
Right.
but the shops in high end real estate, well, I thought they said Bond Street and places like that were closing, Canary Wharf. And I said to myself, maybe it's to do with the real estate rather than losing technology, making them lose their jobs. So the closure is coming that way. And I doubt very much that is just down to technology, but I think there are other factors in it. So I still don't believe that AI can take away people's jobs. But Ash, can I ask you about what you think about the Sony one and the topical? I always talk about the topical issue because in terms of Sony, I'm sure my son will be crying because I remember when he got his PS5, we had to do the unboxing. It took him almost a year to get his PS5. And we
Wow.
had to do the unboxing and to make sure he's got the right thing. So I'm sure it won't go down with him, but down well. But what do you think of the Sony layoffs in London alone? How many people?
Yeah, I think I just googled as we talked. Said 900
Wow.
people in the London PlayStation department. But yeah, again, it is something to worry about. But then on the other hand, it isn't really. If you go back in history,
Mm,
um, you look at when you wanted ice.
mm,
Before we had fridges and electricities, you had ice people that made ice, or they got it from somewhere and then they brought it to your house. And the fridges came along, did it, horse and cart, you know.
yeah.
So the tractor, the people that actually used to sow the seeds, do the farm, maybe there was 20 people that did it,
Hmm.
and then the tractor came along and it could just, do it in one person. So it's something very similar is happening in AI. Is the job is still there, but you don't need 20 people to do it anymore. One person can do it. You know, so I think that is the thing to be wary of. I suppose the rule is, if you're worried about your job, think the more automated your job is, the more repetitive it is, the less you use your brain, it's almost definitely going to get automated and taken away from you. You just
But
reminded me. I used
but
to have mhm.
what about those who do physical work? Do
Yeah,
you
good
think
point.
AI is going to take over that physicality of moving the ice to your home?
Yes, that's a good point. A friend of mine who's just set up a wood burning business. I think you may actually know him. Part of his job is he gets wood and he chops it up and he dries it and he gets it all processed ready to give
Mm.
to people's houses. This time of year when it's cold, it's huge demand. But he said to
Yes.
me he probably makes more money on the delivery than he does on the wood itself. That's where he makes his
Aha.
margin. And a lot of these companies do. They make their margin on the delivery. They give the product away free, and they say, "Oh, the delivery is £6," and they've got a markup of 50%. So they make more money on delivery because they've got do deals with the courier companies.
Mm. I see. Because that's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
So you'll
how
never.
would technology, because we're using AI and technology interchangeably, how can technology make the wood burning
Yeah, it will never.
cheaper?
It will never. I think the safest jobs are if you're a fireman, a
Mm,
plumber.
yeah.
If your boiler breaks down, if your heating break, you need someone to come and physically fix it.
Aha. Yeah.
House builders, if you're building houses. Having said that, you've got uh, digital printers that can make
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
The caveat is and they doing very well. They kind of build it layer by layer. They can build a house. Um, Trying to think, there was another example I just recently where it's robot arms, so you can control two robot arms
Mm,
like across the world just through the internet, like the way we're talking. I
yeah.
could literally put on some gloves and I could actually move around a room, go and get a glass of water, go like that, bring it to somebody, put it down. I could serve
Mm,
somebody in their house
yes.
miles away. I could be like a maid or something like that, but working
I
from home.
need one.
You should get
I
a
need one.
virtual digital maid. Not quite there, but that is the way it's going. So you could hire a maid to do all your work, but you just have they control a robot in your house.
But do you know what? Wouldn't it be too expensive? And therefore, it'll be limited to those who can afford
Oh,
that.
yeah,
It would be more expensive. It would be cheaper to get a physical maid than to get
yeah. For
a.
now, we're talking. Yeah, it's not quite there yet, but it's like you go back to the 50s and look at the big
Mm,
mainframe computers. That took people to the moon. Those computers, believe it or not, our phones are like 1,000 times more powerful than those big mainframe computers
mm,
that took people to the moon and back. So it will come down, the technology and the price, and
mm,
so that you just got to get that paradigm. So all the things we're talking about, little precedents and things that
mm.
may or will start to happen. But anything physical, anything that's dirty that you don't want to do, cleaning is a good business. People, you're always going to have dust. Someone's got to
Yeah,
clean it.
absolutely.
We got one here actually. We've got a cleaning thing. It's a robot that goes along the floor and it cleans floor. But it bumps into it. It
They
doesn't. Yeah.
Ash, I saw one and they are expensive. I actually
Yes.
took a video of it was like 2 grand.
Yes. Yes.
2 grand. I'm taking my Hoover. I'm taking my Hoover and doing it for 2 grand to get. And would it do the corn? I mean, it looks slick, to be honest. But is it driven on AI as well? Because it's intelligent, isn't
It's
it?
got sensors on it. I don't know what's going on
Yeah,
there, but it's going to get more smarter, and it's going to
yeah.
know what's hard and what's soft, what's dirt and what isn't. But nothing to worry about for now. But they will get to a point where it's like my mom. She never. It's only until the last couple of years she would. I don't know if you're like that. She never used to use a credit card or a debit card. She'd always get cash from the bank.
Oh no, no, no.
You're not one
I
of
do.
those.
No,
You
I
used to.
do, I do, I do. I still have cash, but I use
Yeah,
credit card.
and I said, Mum, why are you doing that? And it took her years to get a smartphone. She'd have one of these old Nokia phones. No, all I need is text, you know. So the point is, you'll all get with it, and you'll have to, technology will
Mm.
change, and the economics will change.
And of course, now, certainly in Bromley where I live, all the parking meters you can't put money in anymore.
That's a great point.
You have to
Yeah,
tap your card in. You have to put your
yeah,
code in, and I worry for the elderly who do not have access to smartphones, who do not have access to all they know is cash,
yeah,
and they're being moved reluctantly
yeah.
into a different sphere where they're not likely to live through those times in the longer term. So why do they have to change? So for me, there's an ethical thing there as to why they're changing everything, and the elderly or those who do not wish to are being moved and being made to do those things.
Yes,
I'm not sure it's the right thing.
yeah. You're being, especially if you've had a lifetime of just doing things manually, just coming
Mm,
back. Even you pay for your ticket, your parking by digital. You get a fine digitally because they have cameras to know if you know. You won't even have parking attendant. It'd be crazy. I think they'll just have a way of scanning all the cars. In fact, you won't even have meters. You'll have something in your car that just says you're allowed to park here. It just, it will go that far. Same with
but
going into shops. You won't have to. Well, shops. You go to the checkout. There's only one
Amazon,
person at checkout, and the rest is all self-service.
mm,
In fact, you just mentioned Amazon. Amazon already have. There was a shop I went into in Islington, the shop,
yeah,
and you just go in, pick up your stuff, and you walk out with it. It just knows what you've taken
yeah.
digitally. Yeah, so you don't need. Eventually it'll just be a chip in your brain. So just wherever you go, it knows
Oh
you
God,
are.
please
It'll let you
no.
in or it won't let you in. It'll give you money. It won't give you money. You just touch or use your iris biometrics. So
Mm.
it
But
will
it
get to
does
that. I think it's scary.
it it does go wrong. This morning, I was in the shopping center. I drove in. The camera took my license plate, but when I drove out, I had paid for my ticket. It
Right.
had it got one digit wrong.
Oh,
So I had to show my ticket again, scan my ticket, my pay ticket again, to be able to get out, because I think instead of K, it said J. So it's still not as clever. And
no.
that's what people worry about, that all these technology and AI generated things are not as competent as humans. And
You just
that is the problem.
gave a good. Sorry, yeah, you just gave a good example for a human to be in the mix.
Mm,
So you can't ultimately leave it all to the other scary thing is with even with CVs and sending off CVs. You know, they're just read by AI. They already have a system. They've had one for a long time where they just scan for keywords and they
yeah.
narrow it down. But it's got even worse now where they use AI to scan the meaning and the context to get a sense of the character from what you've written
Mm,
before
yeah.
they shortlist you. It's all done by AI. No humans even looked at it before he's got down to the last shortlist, which is crazy. You know.
And it's the humans that you have to work with. Yeah, it is crazy. But in terms of, I mean, what sort of key areas do you use yourself that you find useful actually for your work? I know you do coding and stuff like that. What do you use it for?
Yeah. Again, if just from a simplistic point of view, I mean, I will literally just be like it's an extension of Google for me. And normally, I would like if I'm stuck on a bit of coding or some syntax. Oh, how does that read? I've forgotten. You can't remember all the technologies. Quick keys. I use Photoshop, Illustrator, all the Cinema 4. All the digital programs. But I can't remember every single quick key, every single way to export it. So I have to Google it very quickly. But you I mean, for example, yeah, I needed some data for. I'm doing some work for a guy. He's a footballer, and I can't remember what the data we needed. But you can actually just type in to as I'm Chat GPT, but they all so give me the data on the top footballers for 2000 and blah blah, blah to date, and rank them by age, and and then put them into a chart. And he just did it
Mm,
like in 2 seconds flat. Now that would have taken me, weeks to do, or I have to pay
yeah.
someone to do it, and it's just there. And the good thing, I can just cut and paste that straight into an Excel sheet, and I can continue manipulating it from there. That's one example.
But I mean, so that will save you time,
Big
but
time
you
saver.
can't. But isn't that so? You talk about cutting down, and guys, I just wanted to go back to Ash's Ash's bio, and he tells me AI created his bio for him.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Ash, once upon a time, that will be something that nobody would admit to. But now there's no shame in saying AI did it for me. So, Ash, tell us how you
Yeah,
managed to get such a great. I mean, I gave you a brief. My brief was 200 words up to, and you came back with that bio. How did you manage to get
yeah. I
such
just
a
this is
succinct
it's a good
bio?
way for you to do it. If somebody is struggling to put your own bio together, or for somebody else, don't worry about the words and the exact words. Just type in the bullet points. You've done this. You've worked for 4 years as as a waiter, and then you work for 5 years as a childminder. And you just put in what you learned. I learned this and I learned that. Don't worry about the English. Don't worry about the spelling.
Mm,
And just tell your AI program, say, hey, just write me a bio, chronological bio, up to 200 words in the style of Lily Nadu. How would she would do it? And if they've got data on you, it will come back as if you've written it for them, and it's spell checked. It's all perfect. So you can't lie. Well, you can lie, but there's nothing lies. And I have done 20 years, and I can use these programs, and I do
mm,
code, and I do this and do that. But the syntax and the storyline was
mm.
generated by AI, which I don't know about you. I struggle to write about myself and talk about myself, and that just saved me a ton of time. And I was busy. I'm like everybody else, as much as I want to do the interview, I know you needed the bio, and I could tailor it for this, So I
Mm,
might have a bio for my design, I might have a bio for my work, I might have one for my sales
yeah.
side of things. But this, I could actually say, just write me a short. And I actually did put in the prompts, which is what you would make it like 100 words, and do it as an intro for a podcast.
Mm.
And I say what it came back with. I pretty much cut and pasted it straight, sent it to you there, and I literally didn't have time. I know you needed the information.
Oop, hold on. Carry on. Carry on. My thing went a little bit weird.
Oh,
Um,
that's okay. Yeah. So I think you got no. I think it's not that you got no choice. Just embrace it, even if you find that it's doing your job, and you can see that it's doing. I said to my because I've got a girl, and obviously she's, I want her to do well and get work, but all the traditional, oh, I'm going to work in McDonald's, or I'm going to work in retail, or I'm going to, no, just as an entry job. I said
yeah.
all those are gone because they're great, because you learn people skills, sales skills, work in a shoe shop. They're great entry job, but they're all going to be gone. They're not there. So I told her, and then all these exams. I mean, I remember when ChatGPT first came out. I said to her, this is going to just change everything, because you could just type in. I don't know if you know, you can actually just type in equations and it will solve, quadratic equations and maths equations or whatever, just like that, and then you can send it back to your teacher. You can, like Shakespeare, she was studying Shakespeare, and if you don't know anything about Shakespeare, you can just say, give me the context of, why, because they ask you in English, what is the meaning behind this, or why did that person, how did this person feel? Just type it and it gives you the answer.
But that is the problem. I probably need to bring a teacher into this,
Yeah,
because if I was a teacher and I've spent years training
yeah,
and I've taught my students to use their mind, their brains and their minds, and they go home and all that they do is to go into an AI bot and the bot answer them. What's the point in coming to school?
correct. That is a fault of the school. What these systems have done is shown up school for what it is. It's just it's an old system for creating accountants, worker bees, assembly line workers, which are not needed anymore. Don't need it. And what AI has done is it's exaggerated that, and said, right, you definitely don't need it. So it's actually shown up. What you need is critical thinking, to think about a subject,
Yeah, yeah.
to argument a point for or against, understand another view. So again, it comes back to one of the early things I said. You need to think. So if you learn to think about others. Social skills. You know, and those kind of things.
So, in terms of designing stuff, I have gone and I have got my face did, my hair did, and I've done a photo shoot for my website, for instance.
This is a
Was
good one.
all that necessary? Could I just have just gone and put my mugshot, an old mugshot in, put it, punched it somewhere, and I'll get an updated picture? What do you think?
That technology is there now. The answer is a point blank yes. Yes, you can
It can
do
be
that
done.
now. You could
But
just
would it look
scan your
like me?
face.
Will it
Yes,
feel like me?
it will look like you. It'll feel like you can make yourself younger, older. I suppose younger. We all want to be younger.
No, I don't
Yeah.
actually. I just
No.
want to look well.
Where no, you can. The answer is yes, and you will not be able to tell the light
Okay,
in the
Ash,
shadows.
you have
So
to show me how to do it. Sit with me and
yeah,
show me how to do it and
yeah.
which technology or which app does that. Can you share that one with us? Which app will do that for us?
Again, I'm not up on. I'm just up on the general things. The specific apps and whatever, they're changing all the time, and
Hmm.
there's lots. But you can put in a reference image, which will be your face, and it says,
Yeah.
okay, generate this person in a cafe drinking a coffee with this kind of mood, and it will do it, and it will look like you.
Okay. All right then.
So
I'll just have to admit it's a shame. No, it's not a shame. The photo shoot and all that was an experience in itself.
yes,
On
yeah,
the kinds of, because it was a branded photo shoot. It
yeah,
wasn't just me just sitting there, standing there and saying, "Oh, look at me, I'm beautiful." The scenery and everything was
yeah.
directed and produced, and that's different, I
No,
think.
oh no, definitely. There is something about, it's an intangible sense of So you get emotion design and design. You
Mm,
can create 3D models, and you can, just trying to find an object here. I could maybe say the phone. So I was going to have that and animate it around and show off this new iPhone or whatever it was. You know what I mean?
mm.
That could be done in 3D.
Yeah.
But there's a big trend, not trend, but there's sometimes a lot of people just do it for real. They get a real phone, they put it on a string, they swing it around, and they sprinkle water on it, and then they shoot
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
frame it. You've probably seen those videos, and those guys are more in demand than sort of digital creators because it's real.
Mm,
So there is something about that, and maybe the eye can pick up sort of very subtle differences in shadow and light, which you only get
mm,
in this room. There's so many light bounces and shadows happening, which a computer can't emulate. So it's just a question of time and money, but that's going to cost you stuff. A human has to do it. If it's going to be a stop animation or Pixar movie, if it's going to be done frame by frame. In the old days,
mm,
draw each frame. You need like hundreds of thousands of people, but it's going to be beautiful. But is it going to sell more than someone who's just
mm.
done it on a computer? So it gets down to economics and viability, you know. But
So
yeah,
if you had to choose, thank you for that, Ash. If you had to choose um, one AI framework, what would it be?
there isn't. It's changing so much. I mean, I think there was what you got Gemini. There's Copilot. All the big guys, Microsoft, Google, Apple. They're all working on their own
Hmm.
models. Yeah. Um, ChatGPT. There's Perplexity. There's Anthropic. There's so many, and then there's hundreds of
Okay,
smaller
I'm gonna
guys.
I'm gonna write something. So chat, the key ones are Chat GPT, Gemini, Plexity. I really need to put my glasses on. I do wear glasses. Chat GPT, Perplexity, and what else?
Oh, we'll have to.
Yeah, yeah,
You
but
could
that's
actually
plenty. That's
you could
fine.
put it.
That's
But those are the
three.
big five. There's so many small companies doing it, and off the back of them, that people are connecting to them, creating their own apps. GPT, for example, is they've created
Mm,
GPTs, which are small apps which you can create yourself. So you could put all your, let's say, your podcast data in. Sorry, Tea with Lily podcasts. You can put them all in there, and then people could search. What you've talked about,
yeah,
what you've learned about. Just you create your own model off the back of a bigger one. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And that data
Um,
doesn't exist until you put it in there. You
okay.
know,
Uh, so, but I mean, I'm still getting to grips with Copilot. So if there's anybody there that's an expert on Copilot, I'd love to learn some more about it. What Chat GPT I find is a little bit generic, but my money right now is on Gemini, previously Bard, which sits on the Google thing, and I think because it's on Google, everybody uses Google. Whereas Copilot is a Microsoft one, and that you have to be on the Mac. It's a bit like Teams. Teams is well for me. Teams used to be clunky and it was just deployed very quickly in order to get a share of the market.
correct.
So Copilot, I think, is still question mark for me. Perplexity, I haven't used a lot, but Gemini or Bard. If you ask me to choose one, I'd choose Gemini. So and that's my lay user perspective because of how it, I think, how intuitive it gets your prompts, and also it gives you various ways of how you may want to present your ideas, and actually gives you why. But it doesn't give you all the answers. You still have to go and do your work. That's the thing. AI doesn't have all the answers. So that would be my top one, which is Bard
Yep,
stroke
yep.
Gemini.
Yeah. No, I think you're ahead of me on that. I think just try them all. They're all trained on different models. Will give you
Mm,
slightly different answers. I don't know if it's connected to what you're saying. A good test is whatever field you're in. Let's say you're a cook, or and what do you know a lot about that I don't know about you? I know you. Give me something you know a lot about.
Food.
Food. Oh, really? So that's
I love
coincidence. How did I
food.
guess you're a foodie? Okay,
I'm a huge
right.
foodie. I love food. I love
Let's drill
home
down.
cooked
And
food.
you love not South African. Where are you from? Ghana, West
Ghana,
Africa.
Ghana,
So
West
Ghana.
Africa.
So pick on a very obscure food, a dish for me. Just pick on a dish for me that I wouldn't necessarily know. It's not that common. Ghanaian dish. Can you pick?
Jollof. Jollof is a Ghanaian
Oh,
dish,
that's all
and
right.
please, nobody come and argue with me on this platform. It's my space, and Ghana has the best jollof.
All right.
Okay.
Jollof is quite well known. Is there something else that's not as well known as that?
um, I'd say, well, fried plantain. We call
All
it
right.
kelewele.
Right. So what pronounce that again? Kel-
Kelewele.
Right. So what you could do as a test, right? This is
Mm.
if you want to see if your job as a chef is in doubt, type that into the Google engine to say, um, was it plantain, fried plantain?
Yeah,
Did you say?
fried plantain
Right.
with lots of lovely spices. Yum
Right.
yum.
So you type into the engine, give me a recipe for fried plantain, West African style, and see what it comes back with. Now you're an expert on it, and you'll know if it knows. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if it
yeah.
comes back with a recipe as good, if not better than you already know, your job as a chef is in trouble. Yeah. So it's a
Ah,
good way. So
okay.
basically, find a subject you know a lot about and test the engines out. And you'll
Mm,
find, for the most part, at the moment, they just give you very generic, general advice,
very basic. Yeah,
very, very basic. So the more specialist you are, uh, i.e., if plantain that's only fried in the West African style, that's very deep, very niche. You're
mm.
not in trouble. Yeah, but if you're talking about jollof rice, I'm sure you can Google that and just like, I don't know how easy or hard it is.
Please,
I know you
don't
can
start
argue.
World War III. World War III on
Yeah,
this jollof thing. I think jollof seems to feature in all my tea with lilies. This Ash, this has been amazing. And where can people find you? I know you're in LinkedIn, so just give us highlights, LinkedIn, your website, and stuff.
yeah. LinkedIn. I'm trying not to be online or be too accessible. 'Cause I've normally got my head down, designing code. I'm not. I don't
You're
have kind of business.
shy. You're too
No,
shy.
no. I just can't take because what I do is designing and programming, and I just need hours of constant. I don't need the phone ringing every 2 minutes and people calling me. But if you email, get through you. If there's something I've said or we want some help with anything, I genuinely, aside from, I just love helping people and seeing them do well in their life and their
Yeah.
business. There was a time where I wasn't doing so well and I was lost, and so I don't know what it is, and I didn't grow up with a ton of money. Um, so I love to encourage others to, get out of their situation to get a better, whatever it is, better car, better house, a better income. If
Yeah.
they want to set up anything along those, any advice, whether it's technical or business, I'm just there. Honestly, I love helping. I always drop someone to help that.
Okay. Okay. So anybody who needs help on basically design
Yeah,
and some, basic AI tips or help, send me an email and I'll pass it on to Ash. Just say Tea with Lily. The heading will be Tea with Lily, AI for beginners, and then send your message. And it should give you all of that.
yeah,
But Ash, I really, really appreciate your time today. I know we did this very quickly, and you have a ton of work to do. And I'm grateful for your help and for your support in helping me sort out things like my website and even my brand in various things. So I'm really grateful, and I'm grateful for you to come on and share your expertise. And I hope you come back maybe in 6 months' time when we've moved along more and it will no longer be AI for beginners, but this is AI to get you moving. Yeah. AI
yeah.
for the future. This is the future. So I'm really grateful. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for your
No,
help.
thank you. Just very quickly, thank you, Lily, and thanks for organising. And I was just curious to see how you're doing. I don't know if I should give away the technology you're using in the background here, but I was
Oh, it's
just
fine.
when
It's
you're
fine.
presenting how you present the whole thing, and yeah.
Oh, thank you. Listen, guys, I'm always also like to share what I do if it's working well. And I use StreamYard. I've used StreamYard from day one, because I found it the easiest of tools to use when it came to doing lives. I try a few of them, but I use StreamYard. It takes a while to get to grips with how to make it work for you. But again, if you need help on that, I actually will be running a workshop for local authority on that subject, in the not too distant future. So watch out for that.
I
So
should put disclaimer,
anybody,
not sponsored by StreamYard, this show.
no, not absolutely not. But maybe I should get some money for them, Anyway, my name is Lily Nardimensa. I'm the Quirky event host, and I'm always here to answer your burning questions. And I have a very interesting guest next time. She is going to talk about technology, AI in the scientific field and ethics. Very important. So watch out for that. That's coming out next week. I'll let you know the date at some stage. I think it's actually, we set a date, which is the 7th, and she'll be coming on to come and talk to us about. I'm very excited because we all need medicine, or we all need something in the scientific field. We go to the doctors, we do all of that, and she's going to come and tell us how she sees it and what we should all be looking out for. So until next time, look after yourself, and may everything that you wish for, listeners and Ash, may everything that you wish for be the least that you receive. So I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Thank you.